Hey guys, it's Caroline, career and leadership coach. And today I wanted to talk to you about why you're not getting interviews and why you're not getting job offers. And the way to start my story is basically go back in time. Like I have worked 13 years in recruitment and HR and now have my own business, New Horizon Coaching. And in the beginning, when I graduated from communications, the unemployment in Belgium, where I'm from, if you didn't know, was quite high, 11%. So I landed a job in recruitment and it fascinated me from the start, looking at all the resumes, talking to all these people and getting to understand their story, the struggles they had, what they were looking for, the challenges they faced. And when I asked them, what are you looking in your next role? They said, like, Caroline, I'm bored and I want a new challenge. Now, first of all, a challenge for you is very different to a challenge for me. So it's interesting to see that different dynamic already from the start. So anyway, fast track 13 years later, I spoke to so many candidates from all over the world, from going from the US to Europe, to Asia, to Australia, and to New Zealand. And I spoke with candidates in various industries and for multinational startups, not-for-profits, and so on. And the thing that fascinated me the most was their story, because here is the thing. They would tell me a story, what they could do, what they could achieve, the ambitions they had, the skills they had. And that story was different from their resume. So there was already a big disconnect. Now, it goes even further. You have their resume that wasn't really aligned to their story and what they could bring to the table. But even if you would see how they would perform in an interview, it was completely different. And the way I knew that was because I was part of the interview panel quite often. And I wouldn't recognize that person that initially had the interview with me, because I met practically all my candidates if they weren't interstate or overseas. So for me, that was key to the success of candidates, is basically owning that story, being able to articulate themselves very clearly in their resume about what it is that they can bring to the table, and then extend that to the next level and then articulate that in an interview. Because if there is no alignment and if you aren't able to articulate very clearly what it is that you can do, then people are not going to be attracted to anything that you have, your resume or in an interview to hire you, because they can't see what it is that makes you different. And that is the thing. You have to understand you are unique. And a lot of people on their resumes or in an interview, they're generic. I spoke to a guy yesterday and I said, like, okay, how do you present yourself? And he was just saying the same thing that everybody else would say. And if I'm a hiring manager and I get a couple of candidates in for an interview and they say all the same, it's really difficult for anybody to stand out. So the first thing I want you to do is discover your unique value proposition. What makes you, you? And from there, you can actually go to the next step and create an interview that's really making sure that you align that message that you've written in your resume and you articulate that. Because that's where the power lies. It needs to be congruent. It needs to tell the same story. As does your LinkedIn profile. It needs to all tell the same story. That's how you get headhunted. When people say, like, oh my God, Sarah is a person that I need to interview because she understands me. She knows the problem that I have, and she has a proven track record of solving that problem. And that is what the difference makes. But so many people just have a resume that's the same old, and they see it as a necessary evil. And what I said yesterday, because yesterday I was part of a panel on a networking event, which was awesome, by the way. And so basically, that's what I said to them. You need to know what you stand for and where you want to go with your career to be able to attract the relevant people. Because if you actually consider all the leaders you admire, you've ever worked with, they know what they stand for. And if you don't know what you stand for, then another person won't either. And they will be very confused. And you only have a handful of people that really push you forward and advocate for you to get promoted, to take that next step. But in most cases, you need to take control over your own career. And that is what you need to do. Create a career by design rather than default. So what I mean with that is a lot of people, they have a career that just happens. They graduate, they get the first job, they work hard, they just experiment or try certain things. Some things work, some things didn't work. They just move on. They get opportunity after opportunity, but they really never stopped, looked around. Am I really going in the right direction? Am I really getting closer to my goal? Actually, I want to be here, and now I'm all the way over here. How can I just create a plan to get there? Most people don't do that. And that is so frustrating, because when you come at a certain level in your career, so the people that I work with, they have 10, 15, 20 years experience. And so they come at a certain point in their career and something has happened. So that means that they might have been made redundant, their contract is finished, they were in a toxic environment, you had merger and acquisition, and they have a new boss, it didn't work out, they want to step up, but there is no potential. So you have a lot of things that might happen in their career. And then suddenly, because they really weren't conscious and intentional about the career moves that they were making, they find themselves really like, okay, where do I start? Where do I go from here? How do I connect the dots between all the skills and experience that I have done? Because that is a thing, and that is a challenge often. It's like connecting those elements, because you have a story to tell, but how do you put it all together? And then once you put it all together, like, how do you cut out the crap? Because some things you want to retain, some things you want to delegate, and some things you want to reject. So it's really interesting to see like how you actually go about doing that. But it is so important and vital to reflect, to actually take the time, instead of manically or desperately like looking for the next opportunity, is take the time to sit down and say like, okay, what is the next 5, 10, 15 years of my career going to look like? And how am I going to make that happen? And what steps do I need to take? What milestones do I need to put in place? And it's so important that you get clarity on that. And so basically, to bring it all back, how to get more interviews and job offers is, yes, you have all the tactical stuff like your resume, your LinkedIn profile, interview techniques. But besides all that, at the core and at the foundation of everything is really understanding what unique value proposition you have, what unique value you have to bring to a company, and you start to build everything from there. Because if you haven't gotten that right, you're not able to create a resume that aligns. You're not able to get a job where you feel challenged, fulfilled, and where you get paid what you deserve. Because basically, if you undersell yourself on your resume, you're going to attract opportunities that are not aligned. So you have to make sure you get your foundation right. And the best analogy that I can give for that, if you have a crooked foundation for a house, the whole house will be crooked and nothing will fit. If you try to fit windows and like a door, it won't fit. So that is the same with your career. You have to have the right foundation, and the right foundation is to understand what you authentically bring to the table and what your unique value proposition is. Now, there are a couple of ways I can help you. First of all, I have a free masterclass that is about the 5 simple steps that you can take to get more, to stand out, first of all, get more interviews and land your next 6-figure leadership role. And I will pop it on. If you go to the website, there is an L missing. So www.newhorizoncoaching.com.au/how-to-get-a-leadership-role with an E, of course, because role, for some reason, I cut it off. So go to that. We'll see if I can actually edit it live. Hey, I love this new tool. So basically you go to this website, you register for the masterclass, and you actually get an understanding of the 5 key steps, the simple key steps that you need to take to stand out, get more interviews, and land your next 6-figure leadership role. And secondly, if we are not connected, and if you came across this live stream, connect with me. And just like connection is really important when you want to grow your career. First thing is connecting on LinkedIn, and then you start to build a relationship. And lastly, if you want to have a chat with me and see how I can help you, I will pop in the link. Horizon coaching.com.au/call. Perfect. Go to this website, newhorizoncoaching.com.au/call, book in a call with me. And in the call, what we're just going to do is zoom out, see where you're at, see what struggles that you're facing. We're going to talk. This is just going to be a conversation between you and I, and just to see where you're at, what you're struggling with, where you want to be. We will create a strategy on how you can get there. And if you want my help, we can talk about that, and I can show you how. And otherwise, you will have the most valuable time that you spend on your career. And for most people, it has been a long time that they spend time looking at their career, what they can do and achieve. So I hope this made sense. Please like and share this live stream, because that's how basically more people can hear my message. And it's so important for me to have that happen. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.